Hiya, honeys. Welcome to the birth of my YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, I am Lady Mylitta. And I reside in this spooky little corner up somewhere in rural Ontario, Canada. And I just like you guys, I am a makeup fanatic. I love makeup. I watch YouTube videos like you do. I'm always looking for the new product that I want to try. And I have a real passion for it. I also have a passion for being dark and spooky. So we'll probably dive into a bit of that too as this channel continues. But mainly I am going to focus on makeup. And there will be some bit of fashion here and there too, and anything else that you, my viewers, might want to see. So let's dive in. Okay, so today I thought I would try, like, my first impression, because I have yet to use it, my Jeffree Star Cremated palette. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy right at this moment, and sometimes I feel like this is a bad time to start my channel because of the controversy, but this is based on the makeup, not on the person behind it. So let's keep that in mind. It's still good stuff generally. And as somebody who mainly uses Jeffree Star, I'm kind of in limbo at the moment. But I don't like to judge. And his makeup is bomb. So this is the palette I would like to use. I have not used it at all yet. I got this from Beautylish instead of his site. I ordered it the Saturday that Beautylish released it. I got it by Wednesday. Here is the palette and the color scheme. Now, when Jeffree said, when he released it, he's like, oh, it's a goth palette. I'm like, goth? Oh, this has my name already, like, written right on it. It's like big capital Mylitta right on it. But when he showed it and his initial view, I was like, that's not really what I had in mind. Not what I pictured for a goth palette. But I do really like this because I do find it a kind of cool tone neutral palette. I can actually see myself using this a lot more for the neutral looks versus more goth looks. But because it is supposed to be a goth palette in Jeffree's eyes, we're going to do a super goth look with it. To start with, I always do my eyes first. I know some people do their face first. I prefer to do my eyes first because I find if I have any fallout, it's easier to clean that up and I don't have to worry about it. So to start with, I always prime my eyes. Today we're going to be using Jeffree Star's Magic Star Concealer in shade C4. I love his concealer. I find it's good. I don't overuse compared to some of the other brands out there. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on there like that. And then I'm just gonna take my beauty sponge and just dab that over the whole eye. And the way I look is if I get a little elsewhere, that's okay, right? There we go. Just make sure everything is nice. Just move in for you so you can see. Now, as we're going here, just want to introduce myself a little bit. I am by no means a professional. I just love makeup, as I've said before. So I feel like I'm still learning. And there's lots of tips and tricks out there that I want to try and do. And I want to share them with everybody. Who else is like in love with makeup? You know, I know there's a lot of professionals out here on YouTube, but sometimes that can be a little intimidating. I'm just a regular lady. I'm a single mama. I have a day job. This is just for fun. All right, let's get started. So I think I'm going to start by putting RIP here in my crease. And to do that, I'm just going to use a blending eye brush from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I really like e.l.f. Cosmetics brushes. They're very inexpensive. You can pick them up at Walmart for like not even $2 a brush. It's great. They work really well. I find them very nice, very soft. So I'm just gonna dip lightly. There is a bit of fallout, but for me personally, I don't overly care about fallout. I know some people are very fallout. But the way I look at it is the shadow performs. That's more what I am concerned about. So if it has a bit of fallout, that's okay. So we're just going to get in here. Oh, that's really nice and pigmented. Just dip into that. And just back and forth, blend it out. You don't want it too harsh. This is just the first color we're laying down. And by no means is this going to be perfect, because I am not perfect at this. I am still learning, and I'm hoping maybe you, my viewers, can even give me tricks, because I'm always down for some learning. Okay, so that's the first shade laid down. It laid down really good. Went on nice and smooth, no issues. So for the next shade I'm going to lay down, I want to lay down something a little bit lighter than RIP. So I think I'm going to use this Wednesday shade here, because it's quite a bit lighter, and see if I can smoke out that outer edge, make it a little cleaner. So I'm just going to lightly dip into that one. That one doesn't have quite as much kickback. It coats the brush really nicely though. Let's see. I just kind of want to diffuse that edge of it. Don't want it quite so harsh. Okay, and then the other eye. I really like that Wednesday shade. It's kind of almost like a nice kind of blue-gray. Okay. What do we think? I'll blend it up quite nice, I think. Just a little less harsher of an edge. And then I think on top I want to go lighter. Kind of have that nice gray gradient going up. And in that one, I think I will use another e.l.f. brush. As I said, they are my favorites. And I think we're going to go with this Casket Ready. It's not a pure white, but it's like a grayish white. And I think I'm going to take that right up to my brow bone and really, really swirl that in. Oh, there's quite a bit of kickback on that one, but it does coat the brush quite nicely. Oh, wow. Pigmented too. Always a good thing. Swirl it back and forth. Probably went too far down with that, but that's all right. I prefer to get that nice kind of blend. And all I'm doing is just kind of going back and forth, doing some nice swirl motions that really help blend out that eyeshadow really nicely. Okay. And there we go. That's the top half of the eyes done. I like how that looks. I find it did blend quite nicely. And it looks like a really nice gradient of the grays. So for the bottom part, I think I'm going to really deepen up that outer corner here, right in there. And I'm going to go straight into this Hearst, this beautiful matte black. And with that one, I am going to use like a little flat packer brush. They call it just an eyeshadow brush, but it's a little more flat, if you can see, and it works really good at kind of packing that color in. So I'm just gonna tap, tap. Wow, it picked up really, really well. And then I'm just gonna put it in this outer corner. I'm probably gonna use a clean brush to really blend it in, but I just kind of want to lay that color down first, and then we'll go from there. I kind of want it a bit higher than my crease line, just so it gives it a bit when your eyes are right open, you can kind of see it a bit better. At least that's what I think. I quite like it like that. There we go. That's it packed all in. And then I'm going to take a clean brush and buff that in. And again, it's an e.l.f. blending brush. And then I think I'll just use this. I'm just gonna blend that in kind of into the gray a little more. Blend it out, kind of give it a bit of a smoky eye look. Because that's kind of what I'm going for here. I thought a gothy, kind of smoky look. Oh, that turned out really nicely, I think. It blended out really well too, and I didn't have to dunk into the pan a lot, and there was barely any kickback. So very happy to see that. Okay, and now I'm going to have to cut my crease so that way we can add some shimmer. So I just use a little like flat angle brush, just like that. And then I just take whatever concealer I have handy. So today it's Jeffree's. And then I'm just going to put a little dab of it on my hand. You don't need a lot, generally speaking. Just kind of like that. And so then I'll just coat my brush with the product. If I need more, I can get more. I'm going to use the same brush. So how I like to do it is I kind of line my lower lash line. Just kind of like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but kind of where I'd like that crease to kind of be. Kind of like that, right? And then what I do is I look down, or put my head down, look right up. And there is my crease line. A little trick that I learned because I found so many of you wonderful YouTubers who've been doing these for year and year, and you just can wham, do it. I am not so talented. So this is a nice way I found that I can find my crease no problem and make it look really nice. So then you just take and fill that in. I have to say, now that I've found this little trick, I find doing my cut creases so much easier. So there's that one done. Now let's go into the other eye. And this is why I put it on my hand. I don't know if you can, oops. This is why I put it on my hand. I don't know if you can see, but the eyeshadow color will come off. So I don't want that in my concealer bottle, obviously, right? Because then it just changes the whole thing. So I always put it on my hand, so that way I don't get that color in my concealer. It's sometimes like I do purples and reds and, you know, grays and metallics. I don't want that in my concealer, honey. Okay, so next eye. Okay, and again, just gonna look right out like that. And there's my crease. Super, super good trick. Okay, so there's those cut. It looks pretty good, right? I think that turned out quite nice. Like I said, since I've started cutting my crease that way, I will admit I am getting a lot better with it. So a little tip for you guys, if anybody out there in YouTube land is having some issues with it, it works for me at least. For this, I am just taking another kind of flat, kind of thinner packer brush, and I just spray it with some setting spray. So today the setting spray I am using is the Urban Decay All Nighter Honey edition. This came out with their honey palette, and it smells divine. It really does. So I'm just gonna one spray, another spray, get both sides, and then I like to kind of just air it a bit, make it a little tacky, so that way it helps put on the eyes a bit. Okay, so let's dive into that Angel of Death. Now this looks like to be his new shimmer shade, so I'm hoping it will work with a brush. If not, we'll have to use our fingers, but we're going to try with a brush first. Oh, it went on the brush fairly good. Let's see how it goes on, because I want this kind of on the outer edge, I think. Oh, it went on good. Okay. You weren't joking around, Mr. Star. Oh, but look, it's falling out. It is falling out. Okay, let's try some more. Oh, it's so soft. Look, it's kind of indenting in the pan. So soft. Oh my. Okay. It's almost, It's almost intimidating for somebody who's not super good at makeup yet. All right, let's try a little bit more. Well, it did go on okay. Maybe on the other eye we should try with a finger. What do you think? Okay, so let's try with a finger. It is super, super soft. We can judge how best to use this. Is a finger better? I personally prefer to use brushes over finger, but if a finger puts the application better, I will use my finger. But I won't lie and say that I enjoy that. But I don't know. I think actually the brush did a better job, but maybe let's try and put a little bit more with my finger and see. Maybe that's the trick. I'm not really seeing any difference in between using my finger and using a brush. And so because I prefer to use a brush, I'm going to use my brush. Okay. It blends in really nice with the black too. But again, fallout on the cheek. Maybe not a lot, but there's still some on there. And this is why I do my eyes first. Okay, so we're going to go in with pallbearer next and do like the inner corner kind of part. So another little crease brush from e.l.f. Setting spray. And let that dry a bit. Let's see if pallbearer works as good as that Angel of Death shade, because that looks quite nice. Shimmer well. So just we're going to go into this pallbearer shade. I wonder if it's as soft. Ooh, it doesn't appear to be picking up. It doesn't look like it's picking up. Okay, let's try it. Doesn't appear to be picking up really well. Oh, there we go. Maybe I just didn't have enough on the brush. That could happen. Okay, flip sides. Good. It's not one that likes to stick. Maybe it needs a finger to use. Let's try. We use this one. It's clean. My other one isn't. Let's try that. Okay. That's not bad. I don't mind how that looks. What do we think? Okay, so now that I have the top of my eyes done, I'm just going to clean up under here. And I just use a bit of Neutrogena oil-free makeup remover. It works really, really well. And again, you can get it at Walmart, rather inexpensive. I'm just gonna use a little cotton batten here and just let's see how much fallout there was. This is I find a good test for the fallout. Actually, not that bad. Not that bad. Again, not bad. Fantastic. I guess it was just a couple of the chunks of the black glitter there, that Angel of Death shade, but good to know. Okay, so for my face today, for primer, I'm going to use the Tatcha Silk Canvas. Now this is just a little sample one size, but this also cost me, I think, 20 Canadian. So, and it is kind of like a balm almost. So all I like to do is I like to just take a little in my finger and then just kind of, you know, put it here, there, a little there. I might need a little more. And just kind of rub it into the skin. I try to concentrate on my places that will make more oils, like my nose and in here around my mouth. I find most people with oily skin tend to have it like on their forehead too. But for me, it's my nose. I'd always find my foundation breaks right around my nose and in my smile line area. I don't like it. So just make sure that's completely through the skin. And then a trick I learned, because I do have very oily skin, is to put a setting powder on first and then a couple spritz of your setting spray and let that set before you put your foundation or your concealer on. So setting powder today is Jeffree Star's in shade Rose. I actually don't mind the setting powder. I find it very light on my face. But one thing I do not like is this. I do not like this opening. I find it to be really stiff, as you can see as I groan to open it. And I do find it kind of messy, which I don't really like. So this is my powder brush that I use. It is actually an a Quo cosmetic brush, and Quo is a brand that you can get at Shopper Drug Mart. They're quite good. So what I like to do is I just like to take my lid and dump a little in the lid. I find it a little easier to control, and I don't want much. You just want a very kind of thin layer of it all over the skin. You don't need much, right? Because this is just to kind of set and try to kind of put a barrier between your oils and your makeup. Okay, so that is done. And then I'm just going to take the same all-nighter honey spray, just shake, and I'm just going to do, and that's it. I don't want, okay, well now that that is dry, we are going to go in with our Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer. And I am not one who likes a lot of face makeup. I don't like feeling caked, and sometimes watching some of the beauty people here on YouTube, I find it so heavy. I don't want heavy. So I try and go light, but covered, right? So I don't like to do a lot. So I put in a few little drops right in the eye, just to kind of hide any dark spots and what have you. And then I usually put a bit down my nose here. Not a lot, just a little, just to kind of lighten that area. And a little right there. And then I like to do spots that I have acne. So there's a bad one right here. There's one there. Actually, I'm having a good acne day. So, and then another spot, because it breaks the most through my oils, I like to put right in around my nose. And this is the one thing, yes, it's not a very big container of the concealer, but I didn't have to go in and I got all this. So that makes me pretty happy. So, and then I'm just going to take a beauty sponge and just kind of bounce it into the skin. I don't care if it's not like perfectly bounced in, because I'm going to put my foundation on top, but I don't want it too thick, obviously. I do find it does a very nice job underneath my eyes here, and I find that I don't have a lot of creasing, which is a bonus. I know it looks a little funny because it's not perfectly blended yet, but I'm going to put on my foundation and that will help blend anything else out of the way. So for foundation today, I'm using the Stay Naked foundation by Urban Decay in shade 20 CP. I'm still kind of testing this one out. I find it very liquidy compared to some of the other ones I've used. I also find I have to use more of it to get the coverage I like. So I don't mind, but I find I'm probably going to go through this a lot quicker than some of my other foundations. So I just put in a couple little squirts there. And then I will get my mirror here, so that way I can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, and then I just kind of spread it out a bit and I'm a bouncer. I like to really bounce it into the skin, get it really good in there. Again, pushing it really into the nose area, as that is a problem area for me. It's a problem area. So we're going to take another little pump, do the forehead area, get right in here, the eyes. I just want people to remember that it's just makeup. It is not going to be perfect every time. And you know what? We're going to make mistakes together. You are going to see me make mistakes. You're going to see my eyeliner is not going to be completely perfect. You are going to see that maybe I'm a little splotchy in my foundation that day. You're going to see it all. But, as I said, I'm still learning. I'm going to learn with you. We'll learn together. I don't mind the finish of the foundation. I just wish it was I wish I was a bit more full coverage. Normally I like a medium, but I just find, I don't know. Maybe I should start going on full coverage. I don't find I have enough on this one side. And I usually give my ears a wipe too, because they're probably not the same shade as my face. Okay. And then I am just going to set it with our Magic Star powder. And again, I'm just going to dump some into the lid because I find that the easiest way to do it. So what I love about these kind of egg-shaped sponges is I always use the ends for the foundation to really bump. But I like these end parts more for applying my powder. So I like to apply my powder under my eyes with a sponge, because this way I can really push it into the skin so much better than with a brush. And because I have oiliness to my skin, I use this to kind of help break that. I also like to do my whole nose with this. One thing about the setting powder, it does smell like cotton candy. So if you like cotton candy, you might really like this. And then I try and do my smile lines, because I find if the foundation breaks around the nose, the next place is my smile lines. So I just kind of do all around my lips. And then I'll take my brush and just swirl and just dust the rest. I think I need a touch more. There we go. Okay, and that's that. So the next step I like to do is I like to do my brows. Now my brows, I don't pluck them. I don't wax them. I don't shape them. I don't do any of that. These are my brows. I've been very blessed with nice brows. I don't want to mess with them. I see some people, they overpluck or they don't pluck enough, and I just figure I have fairly nice eyebrows, so if I don't have to, why should I? So I have this one brush. It is by a company called Visanti, I believe. What I like about this is it's a really like thicker bristle. It makes me kind of think like the spoolie bristles more. It's really really thick and dense, and you can see it at the end too. It's not like a soft brush like your other like slant brushes are. This is more dense, and I do love it to do my eyebrows. For brows, I use the e.l.f. Lock On Liner and Brow Cream in medium brown, and I just dab that in. And then what a little tip I learned is that you don't want to start at the end of your brow, because if you do, it'll be darkest at the end of the brow, and you don't really want that. So I always start my brow kind of right where my arch would be. Well, where my arch is. And then I work out. And this is just like to kind of fill in any excess areas. that I don't necessarily like, and just to make it a little darker and what have you. So that's one brow done, just to kind of give you an idea. Let's do the next one. Again, at the arch area, and then kind of work your way over. Okay, so that's that step done. I really like the e.l.f. one. I find it works very well, and it does a nice job. And then all I do after that is I use a spoolie, and I just kind of go over it, make sure all the color is evenly distributed. You don't want a gump of like eyebrow color in the center or what have you. And spoolies work great for that. I think everybody should have a spoolie. And then I like to go in with like a colored brow gel. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Legendary Brow in color Supermodel. I got this one because I was going to get the Benefit Gimme Brow. And I read some reviews and they said this brush was a little smaller than the one in the Benefit Brow. So I thought, well, I don't need a very big one. And I do find it kind of small. So I just go over my brows so they stay down. There we go. Just gives them a bit more dimension, a little deeper color. And then again, I take my trusty spoolie and I just go over them again. And there we go. So that's my eyebrows done. So now I think we're going to finish the eyes and do the bottoms of it. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this e.l.f. brush. It's called a Smudge Brush, and the tip is just a little bit smaller, and it's great for under your eyes. So I think we'll take that shade Hearse, and we're going to put that all along the lower lash line, and then we'll maybe smoke it out with maybe a bit of that Casket Ready. We'll skip that Wednesday shade and try and blend it out and make it really, really stand out. So I'm just going to dip in. We don't need a lot. And we're just going to go right along this bottom lash. I don't mind if it goes on thick because we're doing kind of a gothy look today. So it should be kind of thick, right? I would think it should look a little thicker. So there's the start of that. And then I'm going to take another, but this one's a little longer, but it's another one of these kind of flat bristly ones. And then I'm going to dip into Casket Ready. Just dip into it. It's very nice and pigmented. Like it's almost like a light gray in shade. And then we're going to just smoke this out. Okay, there we go. That's the bottom done. I'm going to put on some eyeliner in my waterline. And today we are going to use Marc Jacobs. I believe it's a gel liner. Can't remember exactly what this is called, but it's in black. So want that nice, thick, and bold to go with this look. There's that eyeliner on. So now we are going to do mascara, and we're going to use Bad Gal Bang by Benefit Cosmetics. It is probably one of my favorite mascaras. And I'm just going to put a quick coat of it on my top lashes, and then we're going to put on some false lashes. So I'm just going to put a quick coat on here. I love the brush on this the wand. It's really, really nice. And it's kind of good to wiggle it back and forth to disperse the mascara at the base of your lashes and then pull up. That way you get a good even coat of mascara on them. Give it a wiggle. And that way you're getting it good and on there. There we go. So that's just one coat. Well, a quick thick coat, but a coat nonetheless, because I like to put it on first because I do find it helps stick your lashes to them. So, all right, where's my razors? So today we're going to use for lashes the Kiss brand Blowout Lashes in Pompadour. You can get these at any Walmart, which is nice and handy. I just have some Ardell lash glue, and I just like to take a little bit on the end of one of my brushes, because I find that way I can get a bit of more of an even coat on it. I just put a little dab. You don't need a lot. You do not need a lot. And then I'll take one of my lashes, and I just use like a regular pair of tweezers. I make sure they're clean because I use them a lot for putting on lashes. Okay, and I kind of pinch them in the middle, kind of like that. Doesn't have to be exact middle, but I try and aim for the middle, and then I just run the lash glue along the band and try and get a nice even coat. And I find I was doing it on my hand, but another YouTuber on here did it this way, and I was like, wow, that is really, really great, because I get an amazing coat on it by doing this. And so then we want to let it dry and tacky. And that YouTuber is Bonnie-tastic, and she does makeup videos as well. So by all means, go and check her out as well. Eyelashes can be very intimidating. I know a lot of people, when they see me do this, they're, oh my goodness, I don't know if I could do that. And half the time, I don't do it right the first time or the second time. It takes a few tries. I'm still learning. So it's a Hail Mary. You just, Hail Mary, let my eyelashes go on right. It doesn't always work though. So the way I like to do it is I like to take it in the middle, and I like to put the middle right on my lower lash line, and then let that kind of stick. And then once that stick, I like to take the ends and kind of push them in. And I find that helps get a nice even in there, nice and evenly. I also will, if I have to, use my fingers and kind of pinch them in. But we'll wait and see if I have to today. Okay, middle. Not my best application ever, but they're on. They're on. That's the important part, right? It's on. Okay, lashes are on. They feel pretty good too. Okay, so for the last part of the eyes, I just want to do a bit of a highlight along my brow arch and then on the inner corner. So I always go with the lightest shimmer shade in the palette generally. So this is called Diamond Ashes, and I'm just taking, I think it's a Urban Decay Vice one that came in a Vice palette, and I like that flat edge part. So I'm just going to take a bit of that. Hopefully I don't need to use a setting spray because I prefer not to. Oh, I don't. Fabulous. pop that in. I usually tend to go a little heavier on the inner corner highlight just because that is what I prefer. But you know, everybody has their own preference when it comes to makeup, and it's makeup, and sometimes we need to stop taking it so seriously, and we need to remember that it is a bit of an art form and we should enjoy what we're doing. And then I'm just going to take that same brush, kind of pop some of that right in there. It's very very glittery. I don't know how I feel about Jeffree's new shimmer shades. I find them almost to be a little too much. Okay, but that's my eyes done. What do we think? I'll come in nice and close for you so you can see them. Okay, so next step I want to do is a bit of a contour. I'm not big into contour myself, but I do think this look could probably use a bit of it. So I'm actually going to go back into the Cremated palette, and I'm going to do a bit of a gray contour. Normally I would use a light nude, like a light cool shade, but I thought this might work also for some contour. So I don't want anything too dark, because I think that might take away. So I think I might go in with a bit of Wednesday to start and get that kind of carved line. And then I think I might buff it out a bit with that Life Insurance and see how that works. It may not work. And I'm just taking just like a round kind of fluffy brush here. So we're just going to dip in. Oh, picked up some. So let's see. Oh, not bad. Okay. I don't think I'd want too heavy with this. I think just a slight line. But for all you goth girls out there that prefer to do a gray contour, this works quite well. Because we're goth, so shouldn't our contour be gray? No? I think I need a little more. And then we'll put a little bit up on the forehead. Not a lot though, because I'm going to blend it out with the lighter one, I think. I don't think I want too dark along here. And a little along the jawline. Now I'm just going to go into this Life Insurance. I think that will be a nice mixture for this. Kind of, lots of fallout on that one. Okay, so let's blend this out a bit more. Woo! I think the gray will look good for this look though. Also, I have been known to do a white eyeshadow and do underneath my eyes and what have you with it to kind of make myself look a bit paler, because sometimes you want to look a little bit paler. Unlike you sun worshippers out there. Not for this girl. Not for this girl. Oh, I quite like that. I do. I don't think it's something I'd want to wear every day, but if you're going through like a true goth look, that is a great contour. Nice bold cheek line. Not super heavy, but not super light either. And maybe a little patchy on the forehead. Maybe I should have just done that, but that's okay, right? Makeup is fun and it's learning. So contour is done. Might have to buff that out a bit on the forehead, I think. Just using my powder brush to kind of diffuse that too, because I think it's a little too much. But along the cheeks, I quite like that. Okay. So, and then we're going to do a touch of blush. I don't like using a lot, but a little bit helps, you know, the natural glow. So I am using the Jouer Rose Quartz Cheek Blush Palette. I really love this blush palette actually because it has beautiful colors, beautiful tones. They are all matte. I love a nice matte blush. I find a lot of blushes these days are super shiny, metallic, and glittery. I don't want that in my blush. I just want a nice, like, tinge to it. The center here is a cheek topper though. So if you wanted a nice shimmery blush, you were capable of doing that with this palette. I love it. And if I'm just going to take my, this is another Quo blush brush. I quite like this one. It's red. So I don't want anything too much. Like, and you can go bold like with that garnet color. I think I'm going to go with Peach Quartz today. It's a nice peachy shade. So I think I'll go with that today. So I'm just going to pack, and like, it's very pigmented. Now, I know everybody does something different. I tend to just smile and put a little on the apple of my cheeks. Kind of like that. I don't want a lot. I just want a little color. Just a little. And it's not a lot, but it just a little. It just brings it a little. And next will be highlighter. Highlighter is probably one of my absolute favorites. I do. I love a good strong highlight too. So today we are going to be using Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in the shade Ice Cold. And it's a beautiful icy white shade. It's quite gorgeous. So I have this, I don't even know what type of brush this is, but it's a Quo brush too. But it has this kind of nice slant to it. And I find it really holds the pigment well. And it's really good for placing said pigment too. So I'm just going to get some on here. And then I like to start kind of here and just work my way up to my temple. And I'm not going to lie, I'm one of these girls who likes a very strong highlight. And because we are being extra today, we are definitely being extra. So we're going to use a little bit of extra. Just kind of swirl it around, melt it into the skin a bit. And then we'll do the other side. Start there. Work my way up to my temple. Swirl it in. Swirl it in. Beautiful. Love it. And then I take it, and I don't do the end of my nose like some ladies do, but I like to kind of put it along the bridge of my nose, just like that. And that way when you're kind of moving side to side, you can see it. It's not the end of my nose that's highlighted, it's the bridge. And the way you move, the way the light hits, it's quite nice. I also like to do my Cupid's bow. Give that a nice dose. And I also like to do under my lip here. Not always, but I think it just adds a little extra. Very glossy, very highlighted. And like I said, we're being extra today because we're going for a very extra look today. So we're also going to use Jeffree Star's Supreme Frost Pro Palette Northern Lights. It's a very big palette, which is kind of an annoyance. But here are the colors. They're quite nice. And we're going to use this Alaskan Ice and just put a tap of it onto the cheekbone area. I do find with this, though, brush application does not really work. It works to diffuse it, but not to put it on. It's definitely one that you have to use your fingers on. So I like to just swirl some on my finger, like that. And then I just tap it on. And then I'll use a clean finger to kind of spread it, move it around. I don't like putting it anywhere else because I find it is very extreme. But on those days where I'm like, yes, I'm going to be extreme. Yes, I want you to see me from across the town. Then I like to use it. And it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So all that's left is lips. So today we are going to use Jeffree Star's Weirdo on the lips. And just give it a shake. Okay, so there's that put on, but I think I want to do a little bit more than just this black, although it looks lovely like this, but I kind of want to add a little more to it. So I'm just going to take this lip brush. I have no idea where I got it from, but I'm going to take this lip brush and then I'm going to take Jeffree Star's Restraint, and it is this beautiful kind of metallic gunmetal gray. It is a pretty color. So I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to give it a shake first. Then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it on my lip brush. Might need some more than that though, but there we go. Just put a bit of it on a lip brush. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of add it to the center of the bottom and the top lip. Just like pat it on there. Just like that. It just gives it a little bit of a shine in that center. And then to finish off, we're going to hit it with our Urban Decay setting spray. Whew. And here we go, my honeys. Here is our finished look. I paired it with some nice gloves and some feather earrings. How did we do? What did we think? I personally liked the palette. I think it went on really nice. My eyes look good. It actually worked pretty good as a contour, although I don't think I did so great on my forehead. But the contour on the cheeks looks really nice, and I'll have to remember that for when I'm doing a really nice gothy look. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for my birth of my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you did, please like and subscribe. I plan on doing lots more different makeup videos and some makeup hauls. We'll dive into dark and spooky things as well. Yeah, so, and also if you want to follow me, I am on Facebook under Lady Mylitta, and every Sunday at 4:30 Eastern Time, I do a Get Ready With Me Sunday where I do a live Facebook video and we chat and I do my makeup and, you know, you guys give me ideas for what you would like to see, and we have a lot of fun like that. And I plan, even though I'm doing YouTube, I'd like to continue that. So I hope you'll join me there. So thank you again. Goodbye, my darklings.